The Linux world has always been filled with distros claiming to be the easiest for beginners or the most powerful for gamers. But in 2025, one distribution is standing out more than ever: Nobara Linux. Built on top of Fedora, Nobara is designed to take the guesswork out of gaming, multimedia, and everyday Linux use. The question is, does it live up to the hype, or is it just another distro in an already crowded ecosystem? At first glance, Nobara Linux doesn't reinvent the wheel visually. You're greeted with the familiar GNOME desktop environment, polished with custom tweaks. But the real magic isn't in how it looks, it's in how it works out of the box. Nobara was created by Thomas Kreiter, Glorious Eggroll, a well-known developer in the Linux community, particularly famous for his work on Proton GE, a compatibility layer that makes running Windows games on Linux far smoother. His goal with Nobara: strip away the hassle and make a Linux distro that's actually practical for gaming, streaming, and production work without endless tinkering. For gamers, this means pre-installed NVIDIA and AMD drivers, support for Proton GE, Wine, OBS Studio, and codecs that normally require manual setup on Fedora or Ubuntu. Instead of spending hours configuring repositories and terminal commands, Nobara users can jump right into Steam or Lutris and start playing. Performance tweaks are already baked in, helping ensure smoother frame rates and better compatibility with popular titles. Creators aren't left out either. Nobara includes OBS Studio, pre-configured with plugins, multimedia codecs, and hardware acceleration ready to go. For streamers or YouTubers, that's a huge win. You don't need to fumble through installing FFmpeg libraries or configuring encoders. Nobara positions itself as a distro where content creation is just as important as gaming. Daily usability is another strong point. Unlike some bleeding-edge distros, Nobara balances cutting-edge software with stability. It's still Fedora underneath, meaning you get access to Fedora's package ecosystem, security updates, and strong SELINUX policies, but with added convenience. The Nobara team maintains their own repositories with patched software, ensuring things like OBS, GPU drivers, and codecs don't break after system updates. Of course, no distro is perfect. Critics argue that Nobara, while user-friendly for gamers, adds extra layers on top of Fedora that may not appeal to purists who prefer minimalism. Some also point out that because it's a smaller project, long-term sustainability depends heavily on the developer and community support. Advanced users might find Nobara too opinionated, since it decides on defaults most power users would rather tweak themselves. But for the vast majority, especially Windows converts looking to try Linux gaming, Nobara is a breath of fresh air. It removes roadblocks and makes Linux feel less like a science project and more like a usable platform. And in 2025, where gaming on Linux is stronger than ever, thanks to Steam Deck momentum and Proton improvements, Nobara feels like a distro that arrived at just the right time. The bottom line? Nobara Linux is not trying to be everything for everyone. It's trying to be the best gaming and content creation Linux distro for people who want performance without headaches. If you're a gamer or creator who's curious about Linux but intimidated by the setup, Nobara might be your perfect entry point. Mission accomplished if this review helps you decide whether Nobara Linux belongs on your machine in 2025, or if you're better off sticking with a more general distro like Fedora, Ubuntu, or Arch.